Have you ever held a coin that helped shape the future of a nation's currency? What if I told you that a simple 50 new pence coin from 1969 could carry the story of Britain's boldest monetary shift? This isn't just about metal and design, about a symbol of change, a coin that represents a major turning point in British economic history. And yes, even in circulated condition, it holds deep historical and collector value. So, buckle up, because today we're diving into the remarkable story of the 1969 UK 50 new pence coin, featuring Queen Elizabeth II and the inscription, G.reg. This is not just numismatics, it's history in your hands. Let's explore the design, history, political background, cultural impact, and collector value of this groundbreaking coin. In the late 1960s, Britain was preparing for a monumental transformation. On February 15, 1971, the UK would officially move from the old imperial currency system to a new decimal system. This shift, known as Decimal Day, required the creation of new coinage that would gradually replace shillings and pence. However, before Decimal Day arrived, the Royal Mint introduced a few key coins ahead of time. Among them was the 50 new pence coin, first issued in 1969. This coin wasn't just a new denomination, it marked the beginning of a new era. The 50 new pence replaced the old 10-shilling note, which had been in circulation for decades. But unlike its paper predecessor, this new coin would be stronger, longer-lasting, and symbolic of modern Britain. It was the first heptagonal coin in the world, an engineering marvel and a design the 1969 UK 50 new pence coin is instantly recognizable due to its seven-sided shape, known as an equilateral curve heptagon. This design wasn't arbitrary. It allowed the coin to be easily distinguishable by touch while maintaining a constant width for vending machines. On the obverse side, we see a young Queen Elizabeth II. This effigy was designed by Arnold Machin, one of Britain's most revered sculptors. He captured the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece of royal jewelry that had deep historical significance. Encircling the portrait is the insc. Here's what it means. Elizabeth II, Queen Elizabeth II. This Latin phrase is a direct reference to the Queen's divine right and her role as the head of the Church of England. Now flip the coin, and you'll find the reverse design created by Christopher Ironside, a British coin designer of immense talent. It features Britannia seated with a shield and trident, an iconic image going back to Roman times. To her right is a lion, reinforcing Britain's strength and independence. Below, the design reads, "This was Crucia new pence made it clear to the public that the coin was part of the new decimal system, not to be confused with the old pay." By the time this coin was released in October 1989, the UK was already preparing the public for decentralization. Posters, advertisements, and educational campaigns were rolled out across the country to help people understand the new currency. The 50 new pence coin became a physical representation of this transition. When Decimal Day finally arrived in 1971, the public was already familiar with the coin, making the shift smoother. The decision to issue this coin early was strategic, allowed for public adaptation, retailer calibration, and practical use ahead of time. For many Britons, this coin was their first experience with decimal money. Its unusual shape, size, and weight made it unforgettable. The 1969 50 new pence coin saw wide circulation between 1969 and the early 1980s. Over 188 million of these coins were minted in the first year alone. As a result, they were widely used and gradually worn down through daily handling. A coin in circulated condition will typically show minor scratches, surface dullness, wear on high points of the design, especially the Queen's portrait and Britannia faint or partially faded lettering. But even in this condition, it retains substantial historical and collectible value, because it's the first ever 5op coin issued in Britain, tied directly to the momentous switch to decimalization. Collectors seek these coins not necessarily for pristine condition but for their numismatic story. And that's where the real value lies. The value of the 1969 50 new pence. Let's talk numbers. While the 1969 50 new pence coin is not considered extremely rare, its historic status boosts its desirability. In circulated condition, the coin typically sells between £1 and 50 pence to £5 GBP on the collector's market. In uncirculated or proof condition, it can fetch up to £30 to £100 plus GBP, depending on grade. Special mint sets from 1969 can sell for £150 plus GBP when complete. Error coins such as mistrikes or off-center prints are very rare and could sell for hundreds of pounds. Now here's the interesting part. Some online listings claim these coins are worth thousands of and millions, but be careful. These are usually speculative or misleading prices. Realistic auction values depend on condition, provenance, and collector demand. Still, its value as a first-issue coin makes it a desirable piece for serious British coin collectors around the world. More than just a piece of metal. The 50 new pence is a symbol of Britain's post-war modernization. It represents a nation preparing for economic evolution, international trade, and a streamlined monetary system. During this period, Britain was also considering entry into the European Economic Community, EEC, which it joined in 1973. A new decimal system was a necessary step toward European alignment. The coin also reinforced Queen Elizabeth II's enduring reign, as she appeared on every new coin issued during the period. The G.reg.f.d inscription was a constant reminder of her dual role, as monarch by divine right and as spiritual leader of the nation. Even decades later, this coin is fondly remembered by those who used it. It holds nostalgia, pride, and a sense of national unity from a time when everything was changing. So what makes the 1969 UK 50 new pence coin so special? It was the first coin of the decimal system, laying the foundation for modern British currency. Its unique heptagonal design set a new global standard. It features iconic symbols Queen Elizabeth II and Britannia embodying Britain's monarchy and maritime legacy. Even in circulated condition, it holds collector and historical value. It represents a time of cultural and political transformation, making it far more than just a coin. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or someone curious about the treasures in your pocket, change this coin as a reminder that small things can carry monumental meaning. So next time you come across an old 50 new pence coin from 1969, take a closer look. You're not just holding currency, you're holding a legacy. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1969 50p coin, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible coin stories. Comment below if you have one of these coins in your collection. If you're searching for one, have you ever checked your loose change and wondered if one of those old coins could be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a seemingly ordinary 1969 UK 50 new pence coin, the one featuring Queen Elizabeth II and the inscription G.reg.f.d, could be valued by collectors for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity? Yes, even in circulated condition, this iconic coin holds a rich backstory, historical significance, and surprising value that might just be sitting unnoticed in your drawer. So, stay with me as we unravel the true worth of this remarkable coin and find out why collectors around the world are paying serious money for it. The UK 50 new pence coin from 1969 is far more than just a piece of metal. It's a piece of British numismatic history. As the first seven-sided coin introduced during the country's transition to decimal currency, this coin marks a major shift in how Britain handled money. The obverse features a youthful Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, with the inscription Elizabeth cum to a D, G.reg.f.d, Cerebus Ratus Anampulis Imbilan. That Latin phrase stands for De Gratia, Cagina Fidei meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the reverse, you'll find a design by Christopher Ironside, Britannia seated beside a lion, holding a trident and olive branch. It's a powerful symbol of British strength and peace, an emblem deeply rooted in British coinage since Roman times. Why was this coin even made in the first place? The 50 new pence was introduced in October 1969, replacing the 10-shilling note. This was part of a larger movement toward decimalization, which Britain completed by 1971. The goal to simplify the British monetary system from pounds, shillings, and pence to a based-in decimal system. The 50 new pence was the first of the new decimal coins introduced to the public. It was larger and heavier than today's 50p coins and drew attention due to its unusual heptagonal shape, which made it easy to distinguish both visually and by touch. This coin was not just pocket change, it was a symbol of modernization. And, for collectors, that first release from 1969 represents the very start of a new chapter in British coinage. Take a closer look at the coin's design and symbolism. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is regal and youthful, as sculpted by Arnold Machin, one of the most respected coin designers of the 20th century. His version of the Queen's portrait was used on all UK decimal coins from 1968 until 1984. The inscription, De, Gay, Reg, F.d, links directly to the British monarchy's ancient traditions, reminding the holder of the divine authority and responsibility of the sovereign. Reverse Christopher Ironside's Britannia holds her trident, seated with a lion by her side, a symbol of power and protection. The olive branch represents peace. This design was a continuation of a theme first used on British coinage during the reign of Charles II in the 17th century. Now let's talk about how many of these coins were made, and why even circulated ones can command serious value. Asterisk in 1969, around 188 million of these coins were minted. That may seem like a lot, but here's the twist. Asterisk over time. Many of these coins were pulled from circulation, melted down, lost, or damaged. As a result, high-grade examples, especially with full details and minimal wear, are increasingly hard to find. But even circulated coins, the kind people used in daily transactions, are gaining popularity and value due to collector demand. Asterisk the reason. Collectors of UK decimal coins often seek complete year sets, and 1969 was the first year of issue. That gives this coin foundational value in any collection. So how much is your 1969 50 new pence coin worth in today's market, especially in circulated condition? Let's break it down. In average circulated condition, a 1969 50 new pence coin can fetch between $2 to $10 depending on wear. Asterisk in higher circulated grades, especially with minimal scratches and strong details, it might sell for $20 to $40 asterisk if it's in uncirculated or proof condition. Collectors have paid over $100, and in rare error cases or perfect mint states, prices have been known to reach several $100s. Asterisk, but here's the shocker. One extremely rare collector's proof strike of the 1969 50p still in mint packaging with full luster has reportedly been listed in auction catalogs for prices nearing $1,000 or more, depending on demand and provenance. Asterisk. While a basic circulated version likely won't fetch $1 million, the historical significance of this coin and its first-year status mean that it consistently holds and grows in value, especially as the public and collectors rediscover their old coins. Asterisk, the coin's value isn't just in its rarity, it's in the growing global demand for early decimal coinage. Asterisk, collectors from around the world, especially from the UK, Canada, Australia, and the United States, are turning to British coins because of their historical design, royal connection, and prestige. Asterisk, and with Queen Elizabeth II now part of history rather than the reigning monarch, coins bearing her earlier portraits are being viewed as even more desirable and nostalgic. That increases both demand and price. Asterisk, the 1969 50 new pence is especially valued because it's the first ever 50p coin. It features the Machin portrait, highly favored by collectors. It's tied to Britain's decimal revolution, and it's disappearing fast from private. Asterisk. So, what can we learn from the humble 1969 50 new pence coin? Asterisk, it's more than just old change. It's a window into a changing Britain, a symbol of modernization, a coin that holds real value historically and financially. Asterisk, if you happen to find one in your collection, especially in decent shape, don't spend it just yet. Its story and growing collector appeal could make it one of your most valuable possessions in the coming years. Asterisk, and who knows, in the ever-changing world of numismatics, your circulated coin could be worth far more than you think. Asterisk, imagine finding a coin in your old drawer coin, so ordinary looking, yet it could secretly be worth thousands or even millions. That's exactly what some collectors have discovered with the 1969 United Kingdom 50 new pence coin, issued over 5 decades ago. This coin wasn't just currency, it marked the beginning of a new era. But here's the twist. Certain versions of this coin, particularly those with rare errors or historical significance, have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. One piece even stunned collectors worldwide when it was auctioned for thousands of pounds. And yes, even a circulated condition coin like yours could be hiding extraordinary value. Stay with us, because in this video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in British numismatic history, the 1969 50 new pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II, and the iconic inscription G.reg.f.d. You'll learn its secrets, its shocking market value, and how to spot errors that turn pennies into treasure. Historical context and design. Let's begin by understanding why the 1969 50 new pence coin is so significant. This was the very first 7-sided coin issued in the UK, an innovative move to prepare the nation for decimalization. Up until this point, Britain used a complex system of pounds, shillings, and pence. But on October 14, 1969, this new coin was introduced to help citizens adjust to the decimal currency system, which would become official in 1971. Asterisk, the 50 new pence coin replaced the old 10-shilling note. Designed to be easily recognizable, it featured an equilateral curve heptagon shape with 7 sides but a constant diameter. This revolutionary design ensured it could be identified by touch alone. Asterisk, the obverse of the coin features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. The Queen is shown wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, and encircling her image is the Latin inscription, asterisk, Elizabeth 2d.G.reg.f.d. 1969, asterisk, this stands for Elizabeth II. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, *. The reverse side was designed by Christopher Ironside, featuring Britannia seated beside a lion, holding a trident and a shield bearing the Union Jack. This image harkens back to classic British symbolism, reminding citizens of strength and stability during a time of monetary transformation. *. Though intended for daily use, this coin quickly caught the attention of collectors due to its unique shape, historical timing, and the authority of its imagery. Common versus rare versions, approx 400 words now. Here's where it gets really interesting. *. The 1969 50 new pence coin had a large mintage, over 188 million pieces in total. This means that in circulated condition, a regular coin is generally considered common and worth around £1 to £5 GBP today, depending on condition. *. However, not all coins from this batch are created equal. *. Over the years, collectors have discovered rare era coins, misprints, and planchette anomalies that significantly increase the value. Some coins display unusual features like * double strikes where the coin is struck twice, creating overlapping designs, * off-center strikes where the design is shifted and partially missing, planchette cracks where the metal split during minting, and even misaligned dies, causing one side of the coin to be slightly rotated in comparison to the other. *. These kinds of errors are extremely rare, but when they happen on a historically important coin like the 1969 50p, their value skyrockets. Some examples of error coins from this year have been sold at auction for £1,000 to over £15,000 GBP, especially if authenticated and graded by a recognized agency. *. In one remarkable case, a 1969 50p error coin with a visible die rotation and partial missing strike sold for the equivalent of 10,000 United States dollars. These anomalies are now on the radar of serious collectors worldwide. *. The moral here: even in circulated condition, your coin could be a hidden gem. You just need to know what to look for, and that's what we'll cover next. *. Errors to watch for approx 500 words. *. Let's dive into the errors and varieties that make this coin so desirable. 1. Double strike error. A double strike occurs when the coin is struck more than once in the minting process without properly ejecting the coin. On the 1969 50p, this can appear as a ghost outline of the Queen's head or the Britannia figure. These errors are not only rare but highly collectible, value up to $5,000 USD, depending on clarity and preservation. 2. Off-center strike. In these cases, the coin's design appears skewed or misaligned, sometimes cutting off part of the Queen's portrait or the Britannia. Depending on how far off the design is, values range from $500 to $2,000. 3. Die clash or misaligned dies. *. A misaligned die occurs when the obverse and reverse dies aren't perfectly aligned. This can cause a rotated image or even overlap between design elements. The rarity and error magnitude directly affect the values and times, fetching up to $3,000 or more. * 4. Clipped planchette. A clipped planchette happens when part of the coin's blank isn't fully formed. This can result in a chunk being visibly missing from the edge of the coin. Extremely rare on the 1969 50p. But if found, it could be worth thousands of dollars. * 5. Wrong planchette or metal composition error. * While officially struck in 75% copper, 25% nickel. If a coin was mistakenly struck on a different planchette, for example, a thinner one, or even one intended for another denomination, the resulting error would be astronomical in value. A wrong planchette error in circulated condition could reach $10,000 to $20,000, especially if authenticated. * 6. Proof-like circulation strike. PLCS*. Some coins from the 1969 batch have an unusually sharp strike with mirror *.